Hello, I'm John of RouteNote, and today I'm going to show you the upload process and tell you a few things we've improved. We've had a lot of feedback from the users of RouteNote, and so we've gone out our way to make RouteNote simpler, more intuitive, and give you more control of your music. So first I'm going to click on Create New Releases, which will take me to this page. Now, if you already have a UPC for your release, you can type it in here. Otherwise, leave it blank and RouteNote will create one for you. Underneath you can put in the title. So in my case I don't have a UPC, so I'm going to ignore that and put in my album title, which is Wizard. And then I'll click Create Release, which should take me to the Creation Hub. Now, we have a lot of options here. As you can see, you have control over album details, MP3s, artwork and stores. We can tackle these in any order we like, but I'm just going to go for the top one, album details. As you can see, the title has been put in for me already, but it can still be edited if I like. We then move on to artist name. If your album is a compilation album, click here. You'll notice that we can no longer change the artist name or the artist role. That is because we'll be adding that information on the track level instead. Luckily, the album I'm doing is not a compilation album, so I'll click no. That'll mean that I can edit the artist name again. In this case it will be John Bannon Audio, and I'm the primary artist. Your main artist should always be set to primary. You also have the ability to add more artists here as well. For instance, my album might feature someone else. The addition of separate artist fields allow the artists to be formatted in stores so they are all linkable. The artist roles ensure more comprehensive and professional release displays, and both of these changes will help with search results. We remove an artist like so, which I'll do since I was the only person involved in making the album. Then we move on to the genres. It can be difficult, but try to be as accurate as possible. I'm going to go for electronic and classical. Now, certain genres require extra artists. In this case, I need to add a conductor and a composer. It is very important that this information is correct. If it is wrong, your release will be delayed. Fortunately, I wrote these tracks all by myself, so I can put down my name for both. Since I wrote and created all the songs on the album, I own all the copyrights, and I am my own record label, so I'm just going to put JBA here, and the John Conglomerate here. And since these are brand new, I will keep the year the same. Generally speaking, as long as you own the material, you can put anything you like here, but it's probably a good idea to try and make it look as professional as possible. I had better explain the copyrights quickly. Each release requires a set of copyright lines, each with the year this particular copyright began. Songwriter copyrights refers to the name/title of the band/artist who originally wrote the composition, and publisher copyright refers to the name/title of the band/artist who owns the copyright of this particular recording of the copyright. The sales start date. Now, if you want it to be released as soon as possible, you can just leave it blank. If you have a specific date you want it to be released, however, simply click here and select your date. But bear in mind that it starts from 6 weeks from the upload date. And finally, if you have swearing on your album, mark it explicit. Otherwise, you can put it on clean. Then I'll quickly review everything to make sure it's all correct and click Save, which will take us back to the Creation Hub page. You'll notice album details has turned green, which means that section has been completed. But if you need to make changes, you still can by clicking on it again, like so, which will take us back to the page we was on before, so you can make all the changes you like. Save again, and then we're back to the Creation Hub. Because I can do this out of order, I'm going to click on Add Artwork next. As you can see, there's a whole screen full of limitations. The most important of these being that your image must be 1425 by 1425. But please bear in mind that if your artwork contains URLs, contact information, pornographic images, or any of the other problems listed at the bottom of the screen, we will not accept your release until it has been changed. Luckily, I prepared a cover art earlier, so I just choose the file and then click Upload. After this, you should see your artwork back on the Creation Hub page. So, manage stores. Simply click on all the stores you want to upload to, or, like in my case, select all. We are happy to tell you that not only is Deezer and Audio now available on the free model, we have introduced 2 new stores as well, with Xbox and Google Play. Afterwards you'll see the new pricing options for iTunes, Amazon and Google Play. You can choose between standard, lowest, low or high. Fairly self-explanatory. Adjust as you feel it should be. I'll be keeping everything on standard for now, and then I'll save. And finally, the most important part, add MP3s. We now allow the additions of MP3s to be done in as many sessions as you like, and no longer force the upload of all the tracks in the release at the same time. This should help out users suffering from slow connections or those who have not finished compiling the album to build it on-site over time. Note the writing at the top. We will only accept MP3 files and they must be 44.1 kHz and have a greater bit rate than 192 kilobits per second. If the quality of your music is too low, we will not accept the release. So let's do the first track. It is as simple as typing in the name and then finding it on your computer. Bear in mind, depending on the size, it may take a while to upload. When it is uploaded, you will get this page. You'll notice that a lot of information has already been put in for you, but feel free to make any changes you want. You may want to add a featuring artist or change the title version. Certain genres and artist formatting require specific styling, all of which can be referenced in the RouteNote manual, which you can grab from the tools page. As a brief example, featuring artist needs to be referenced in the track titles like this. Also, it's important that your references match. Spelling errors like the one I made in my example will delay your release. As for title version, this is useful for if you have multiple tracks with the same name and you want to distinguish between a live version, studio version or a radio edit, etc. Then you need to tell us the track number. We should provide you an ISRC as you can see. Then save. If we scroll down, we can see my track down here. I can check the details by clicking here, edit by clicking here, and I can delete the track by clicking here. Even though we haven't finished, we are free to check out other pages, or even pop out to the shops. Everything will still be here when you get back. Just click on Releases and then Unfinished Releases. Note that you also have the option to delete here, but we're going to click on the spanner instead. So now I'm going to add the rest of the album, add MP3s. This time, after I choose the name and the audio, I'm going to add the rest of the tracks and then click Upload. This is going to take a while, so I'm going to jump ahead using the magic of editing. It will take us to the same screen we saw before, which we'll fill out as needed. Save, and then we're pretty much finished. All that is left to do is to double check my tracks are correct and then select how I want to distribute. We can see the options here. I'm going to go with the free option. After this, if you check in releases, you'll now see that your release has moved to free distribution, and under status we can see that it is pending moderation. If all goes well, you'll have your music up on the stores within a week or two. So this has been the upload guide, and I hope this helps if you've been struggling. I've been John at RouteNote, and we look forward to hearing from you. Until then, goodbye and good luck.